Because it's me. We are right on time. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, same time every Sunday. It's amazing what one can do if they're consistent.
This consistency you speak of. Go
Yes.
on.
Well, I thought tonight we'd talk about, well, first of all, tools are supposed to be fun. But some of these dudes, they don't know that, right? The real draw to a tool is what you can do with it. It's not so much the tool itself. It's just, what can I build with it? What can I fix? You know, it's literally, what can I do with it? But so many of these dudes are tied into, I've got this tool brand, and if you say or do anything that doesn't make that tool brand look good, then I'm going to whine and cry like a little girl in your comments section, and I'm going to have a mental freaking breakdown because I'm a whiny little girl.
I like that. Hey, hold that thought, because I'm going to show you something that all the Milwaukee fanboys are going to cry about.
All right. I like it.
And I actually like this. I just bought it. Never had it before. If you want to put me on full screen, I'm going to show you something about this you probably didn't know.
All right. Hit it.
I've seen a lot of reviews about this, but I've never had somebody mention this. So, you know, battery, or I saw somewhere it also takes receptacle.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I mean, the leg's in the way, but we know it takes.
It's right
there you go.
But I just found this out because, you know, I don't read the instructions for all my tools. This thing only locks in 2 positions. You can't put this wherever you want. Watch this. Wait. Hang on. What the hell? So you lock it, you pull it up to lock it.
Yeah.
And then you got to pull this one up to lock it, and you heard it click.
Yeah.
And then it's locked. And then to break it down, you got to just kind of push on it. Now, I will say this. I'm going to keep it. I really, really like it. I just think that it was a missed opportunity to add some stops in the middle. But this thing just, I mean, bam.
It's pretty, it's nice.
It's pretty cool, but you got to.
B-Dub said, what are instructions?
Yeah.
I believe there might be some instructions on how to fix that.
There is no instructions on how to fix that. There is no middle stop. It's a 2-point where you got to pull. Listen, it's going to pop again. There you go.
Got it.
And anything in between there. Yeah.
That's a rough one.
It's a rough one.
I have never owned one of those tower lights.
I only bought this because, you know, I sold the Flex for $150 with the battery, with the extension, with the light, and a charger.
Yeah.
To my buddy. Great deal for him. And I love the Flex.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to try this because you get the 5.0, like your deals mentioned. Your deals are so awesome, by the way. You get the 5.0 and the 2.5 HO, which is $200 by itself, if you can even find it for that. And you get this light for free.
I'm reading the comments. I'm just reading the comments. You're getting absolutely tortured.
Good.
Just torched in there.
Good.
Panther, B-Dub, Learning with Juan, Jamie True, Jeremy. We're always happy to see you guys every single time. It's just a blessing to have you all here. So we appreciate it. Just basically, you don't know how to work the tool. Kansas Tools is here. Juan Prats, by the way, has been serving as our moderator on this channel for 2 full years now. And to that end, I say, way to go, Juan. It's amazing that you stuck with us this long. So we appreciate you.
He just started doing it too and assuming that role, I might add.
Yeah, he's been good. We appreciate it too. But here's what we've been doing. So we've been like, I'm doing well as far as YouTube's concerned. I'm kind of doing well across all social media right now. It's kind of ridiculous. I've got all 3 platforms performing at a high level. I don't know what's going on with Facebook because I don't venture over there. I don't even care what's up with Facebook. They pay me, and that's about all I care about. But as I'm doing this, I've just like, it bothers me that so many dudes are just entrenched to that's my tool brand. That's the only thing that matters is the name on the side of the tool. And if you do a test and it doesn't turn out the way they want it to, it's because you hate that brand or you're trying to make that brand look bad. And to be honest with you, the only brand I don't like, and I'm the only one that's upfront about it, like everybody else, they kind of hide it or whatever. I come right out and say, I don't like Makita. So if you don't like my opinion on Makita, first of all, I don't care. Don't like it. Fine. That's up to you. I don't care. I don't like Makita. I make it a point of showing, but I also back it up by showing people why I don't like Makita. Right. If I have to hold on to the battery to hold your tool because your handles are too small and I don't like it, that's on you, the manufacturer. I don't have to worry about that with any other brand unless it's a 12-volt line. And at which point I can't hold DeWalt tools because for the same reason. So you don't see me buying DeWalt 12-volt tools.
I completely agree with Jeremy there. Heavily invested in DeWalt, but they're not the best. I just love the feel of a DeWalt, man. You called it because I was a DeWalt hater when I first started this channel. And just didn't like them, man. They pulled a Milwaukee, they pulled them, a Makita.
They've stepped up. Time. Yeah. And, they've stepped up here recently. I got to say, they're putting out some good stuff.
You called it there. You're like, man, the ergonomics of those, and it's a great tool.
Yeah. And we got to give another shout out to Shaka Gillis, who is here tonight. Hey, Shaka. I hope you appreciated my shout out on the video yesterday. I did that just for you. You bleed green. We know it. For me, like I really truly couldn't care less about a tool brand. It means nothing to me. They're just tools. I want to know what the tools can do. I want to see what they do. I don't care if somebody says something bad about it. I'm like, yeah, well, it works for me. I like it. Cool. You don't like it? I don't care.
Yeah, it's frustrating when they're so freaking consistent, man. And then you get that brand and it's like, oh, in this one, we didn't put a quick insert. Or in this one, we didn't do this. That drives me crazy. Oh, this one's Starlock only.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. And I got to admit, I haven't been into the Starlock. I don't really. To me, it's a multi-tool. I don't really need that quick eject garbage, quick insert. Like, I'm not a drywall guy, so I'm not cutting it out all the time. So
yeah,
I use a multi-tool very, very rarely. And when I do, it's for a small job. If it's for bigger, I use a saw.
I'm an electrician, so I don't really know how to use tools properly. And everything becomes a pry bar or a hammer. So if the block, like you cut 2 portions out of that 2x4, all you're left to do is just pry with it, right? So we go through a lot of blades because we turn them into L's.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
I've done that with a recip saw going through wood, though. So.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Kansas is calling you out as bleeding Milwaukee fuel red over there.
Oh, so, dude, I just invested heavily back into the fuel. Heavy. But
yeah,
like I said before, man, it is the most powerful 12-volt platform. So now that my house is pretty much done, like there's not too much to do here. Everything is like really nice. It's going to stay nice for at least 20 years. I don't need any more tools. Like everything that I've ever bought has been a work in progress. Everything. Right. But this is my 3rd house and I don't have to really do much anymore. And what I've learned is that my time is more valuable than my money. with respect to, other people's situations. Time is money, and that's time away from your kids. That's time away from something else you could be doing. And time is YouTube, which is money,
Right.
which is equal to money. So time is money, exactly. And you can pay somebody to do it and still break even.
It's funny you should say that, because the I believe the title to this live stream indicated what is man's best ability, and it's obviously it's availability. And I'm glad you said that.
No, I don't. I wasn't even prepared tonight. Nice.
Anyway, I'm glad you said that, because what a lot of people miss is the consistency of life.
Yeah.
Right. They put stuff off to the last minute, myself included, as I just did this for the live stream tonight. They put it off to the last minute. They when they get into things, they don't think forward. They think now. What's my situation right now? Not where do I want my situation to be?
Right.
So as you have learned when doing this, that your time, there is a monetary value to your time.
Mm-hmm.
The people that can take advantage of that is the people in the trades, in the construction field, in the drywall game, what have you, or even a mechanic. The people that are in those trades can take advantage of it. I had a gentleman out at my house who, what's up, Robert G? We just had to have, basically, we've redone our entire house over the last 3-4 months.
Right.
Right. So he was out here. He had just gotten into HVAC work. And this dude comes out to my house, literally like 9 o'clock at night. He's dropping everything to come out to my house to take care of stuff. And I'm like, well, how much is that? He's like, $50. Now, here is someone that does not understand
what their time's worth,
his value.
Yeah.
So a lot of dudes that like go out on their own, they're starting to do things on their own. They don't understand the cost of gas, insurance, the housing cost, the repair costs on your vehicles, not to mention the time and away from your family. They don't understand this. So they're just like, well, I'm going to charge this much because it didn't cost me that much to come out. So this dude out here for 3 days working on my air conditioner not that long ago, because it's an older unit, and he's like, well, I just replaced this, and then he's ordering stuff from Amazon or whatnot. He shows me the price that he's paying on Amazon, and he's charging me the same price.
Oh, yeah. And warranting it, probably. Maybe not.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude. So he comes out, he's like, oh, it'll be $50 for the trip shot. I'm like, no, it's $100.
Yeah.
I value you more than you value you. How easy, Rodney, Sergey, how you guys doing? I'm reading the comments.
I don't leave the driver for less than $350.
But no, that's the thing. He's available. That's an important asset to him. He doesn't have a large base built up. He's certainly not going to do that with me. I'm a homeowner, right? A one-time deal. You're going to come out, you're going to fix it, you're going to be gone.
Right.
Maybe I recommend you to a friend when they have something come up, but chances are I'm going to forget you or forget your name or your phone number or whatever between now and then. Yeah. So he undersells himself. I worked with the government. The government typically goes for the bottom, the dude that charges the least.
Yeah.
I was the repair guy for the guy that charged the least. And I wasn't cheap. So when the dude came in and he was like, oh, I can do this for, I want to say average cost was about $200 2.25 or somewhere in that neighborhood. And I knew that's barely enough to buy the wire and the panels. You're not
Right.
paying your crew. So like when you coming into that, and I'm charging a little bit more,
Yeah.
we'll say a little bit more to come in and then do all the stuff that you're supposed to do that you said you could do for $2.5 million when you didn't even bother to look at market.
Right.
You know, so that's a huge problem. I love the dude's available, but he had no business sense.
Yeah, and you won't last like that. By the time you learn your lesson,
It's
you're
too late.
bankrupt.
Yeah, it's too late.
Yep. Because you're not planning, like for me, for example, bought my car in cash, right?
Yeah.
That car payment goes into a separate account. I pretend like I have a car payment. Take the $500 and you put that into a separate bank account. And then I bought a hybrid. So typically my job, I'm getting about 250 miles to a tank. And that's a very, very fuel efficient car for what I do. And I usually fill it 3 times a week. And now my hybrid's filling up less than 1 time a week. It's like 9 days, and then I gotta fill up. So all that money that I'm saving, that also goes back into that separate account.
Sergey,
so all that stuff, as you're making a business, you got to account for the future, because the money that I'm saving right now, I'm not just going to spend it.
So Sergey, as someone that worked in the field, I didn't get paid by the hour. I got paid when the job was done. Yeah. And the worst part is, like, and you know this because you were in the electric trades, right? So, or you are in the electric field. Mm-hmm. So you know this, speaking as a former electrician and currently doing what you do, the entire cost of a job is fronted by the contractor doing the job. He put a bid on it, said, this is what I'll cover it for, or this is what I can do it for. Then it's on him to go out and buy the materials and whatnot. The homeowner should put the money that they agreed to pay in an escrow account and not pay until the job is done.
Right.
But a lot of folks you can always tell who the shady dude is, because he's coming at you and he's like, hey man, I need the money.
Right.
Dude, do you not know how to run your business?
Right. And that doesn't mean he's shady. That just means he does not know how to run a business.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, they're out there. We see them all the time. You see these guys all the time.
Yeah.
And they're doing this stuff.
Or, in the trade, you meet a lot of people. And you meet some really talented individuals that build, custom multi-million-dollar houses, frame them all. And that guy's just going to be straight cash. So he's going to go to Home Depot. He's going to hit you with a phone sale. And he's going to be at your house in 30 minutes building a $4,000 shed for $2,500. Fair handshake, cash.
Yeah. Those dudes are cool though, but they're putting out the money up front, know, or they're giving you if it's a buddy of yours, that might be some slack, but most people don't know folks in the trades.
Yeah. And don't forget about phone sales, because you can do phone sales at Home Depot. They can pick up your material. They can email you the receipt. And that's a lot better than giving somebody just money and going to a store and doing whatever,
Yeah. And look, these guys, if you can't front at least half the cost of the job, walk away 100%. If you're building I can't tell you how many news articles or where they could snippets or whatever of contractors. Like, the news will go into a house with a contract, or where a contractor was supposed to have done the work. And it's always like an older couple, because they know that that's going to tug on the heartstrings or whatever. But it happens to a lot of folks, where the contractor came in and they're not licensed. They're not bonded. They're not insured. If you don't like the bonded, they're not insured. And they're asking you for the money up front. So they'll be like, oh, put the money into an escrow account, which they're supposed to do. And then they'll keep coming back to that escrow account and saying, hey, I need to get more material. So they're pulling out of the escrow, right? The homeowner signing off on it, which is their fault. That's their fault. 100%. They're signing off on it, letting the contractor pull it out. But once all the money is out of the escrow,
that's it.
Contractor's gone too. You know, it's just like a nonstop site, and people don't know. Like most people are trusting individuals, right? They want to believe in the goodness of man.
What's up, LFL83?
But a lot of the dudes that are in the trades aren't real trustworthy. You know, a lot of them have abuse issues, substance abuse issues.
Yeah, well, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I always tell people, you know, this was plan A. Electrician was plan A. It wasn't plan B or C or D. Typically, like the trades is the last thing you do. You know, I came straight out of high school looking to be an electrician, actively seeking trade school, going to HVAC classes, all the electrical classes, and then getting into an electrical apprenticeship, you know, and now do inspections. So a lot of people, though, man, the trades is not what the original plan was. It was just kind of a fallback, or I just did it because my dad did it, but I didn't really like it, but I know how to do it because that's what I did when I was younger. Like that. And then, you know, you become an old man that's stuck in a trade without a license. And it's miserable, man, because it's rough on your body.
It is. And the thing is, if you're going to go into the trades, and we talked about this with Impact Nation Tools a while back when he came on, and he was talking about his dad's like 50s, 60s, somewhere in that neighborhood. And he's still out there doing the backbreaking stuff.
Oh, man.
And I was like, dude, the first thing that you should figure out when you're young, and your body can take it, how can I work with my back? So that when you're old, like me, when you're old, you can figure out how you can work with your head.
Yeah. It's, you need to learn as much as you possibly can, as fast as you can. And, you know, get out pretty much. You know, you got to be able to have learned enough to be able to train the next guy and get the hell out of there. Fortunately, I don't think I was done training people. That's why I started this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But man, I almost turned down this job. You know, I was making 6 figures running a service truck. Started doing the math on it, and I was like, well, my daughter's 1. I missed a whole year of her life. I'm going to take a pay cut, pretty much cut it in half, and not have a service van to drive home, and gas and tolls. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty big deal. But the time that you're going to get, you know, you're not going to become rich, but your life will become enriched. So, you know, there's a give and take with it. But I almost turned down the inspection gig, man. And then I was in an attic and my legs cramped up, and I pretty much had to crawl on my belly down the freaking ladder. And then I was like, maybe I'll send in that, job application.
Yeah. Well, dude, I feel your pain there, because I need both shoulders replaced.
Yeah.
I've got a rod in my back already. I've got nerve condition where my hands shake constantly. I've got arthritis in everything. It's just easier. I don't think there's any spot that I have arthritis in my knees, feet, hands, shoulders, elbows, neck, and back. I think that covers just about everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, good night, Go Tool Reviews.
See you later.
But see, the thing is, like, and I came into it later in life, right? So I had decided to do solar as an opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Came in with a partner. The partner told me he was going to do all the work. I just had to provide the funding. You know, that idiot, that dude that trusted.
Yeah.
Right.
Stuck in it.
Yeah, it kind of. And that lasted about 3 months.
It was kind of like, hey, do you want to help me do this? And next thing you know, you're showing up the job site by yourself.
Yeah. So I'm
Gotcha.
like, all right. So I had to, like, and this is sad because, like, I knew nothing of solar, other than you could make good money with it. Right. I knew nothing of solar, and I had to go out and learn. Like, and this is sad. I watched a lot of Australian solar installs on YouTube. Took a lot of classes because you could take classes through all of the
brands,
all of the racking companies. They'll come out and they'll show you. A few of them will actually come out and do an install with you.
That's pretty cool.
So I was doing that, and then when they found out we were doing government contracts or whatever, they're like, yeah, maybe not. So it was like going out there and learning how to do all that thing. What is solar? Is that? Oh, thanks. It is pretty hot. Anyway, can you give me a tool?
Sure.
I mean, just the one I was born with. Anyway.
What do you want? I'll give you something. Send them your email. souls@toolswithsouls.com or conductive wood. I'll send you something. You want a Gen 3 impact? 18 volt?
Yeah. I was reading the comment there from Jamal. George Orway showed up. There's an acupuncture point on the upper lip that will release the leg cramp. And it gets opposite side lip than the cramp. I know nothing about acupuncture other than it doesn't work. All right. So
actually, I can send you a whole set of Makita 12 volt.
Jamal, I think he's hitting on you. Anyway, he just said a whole set of Makita 12 volt. No, so I had to learn the trades by myself and teach myself how to do it all. And a lot of it, like when it came to the construction part, I hired older people that knew construction, and then I would stand there and I would learn from them all day. And these are dudes that are typically in their 50s, and they're pretty broken down, and they're pretty crotchety, which, I mean, fits me just fine. I love those dudes. So it's just one of those things. Like I got into the trades in my mid 30s. Well, maybe even late 30s. I was 36 years old at the time. I got into it at that time, and I'm 50 now. So, but that was one of those things. Like, I worked with the old guys. I wanted to know what they knew. I asked them so many questions that they got frustrated with me sometimes. But I was just like, I was very convivial. I was like, dude, I want to know. I just want to understand what I'm doing so that when you're not here, it can still get done. And when they found out that I was sincere and that I really wanted to know, I wasn't just some tool holder, trigger jerk, some useless piece of crap on the job site. And I wasn't like
start teaching you.
Yeah, I wasn't like just some jackass supervisor that doesn't know how to do the job. And as the owner, that's exactly what you expect when you're out on when you're out on the job site, the worst person to show up is the owner because he knows the least.
Right.
I didn't want to do that. I wanted to know. And it's just been like, I just wanted to absorb the information and learn. And that's something that, unfortunately, I don't think a lot of folks will want to do. They want to know just enough. What do I have to do? Okay, I just want to know how to do that. which is why you guys get the dudes that the roofers, right? They're great. If you ever watch dudes laying shingles, they're amazing. They truly are.
Yeah.
Watch them build anything. It takes forever. and half of the time it's wrong. Watch a woodworker, and I'm not talking about like the old school woodworkers that they learn from somebody and they learned in school, and like some of the new guys, they act like putting squares and rectangles together is a difficult thing. And I'm out there thinking, well, how can I make a carport even where I have the same size material, but the topography of the land ain't the same size? So how much do I have to pay for a pile driver to come in to drive the pillars down? How much do I have to put in concrete? Like, I'm doing kind of a lot of stuff that these dudes are like,
well, I put a triangle and I put a square together and I put some legs on it. Aren't I amazing?
not really, not really, dude. You built a square. Congratulations. Or you built a rectangle. Damn.
Yeah.
It's as hard as, so I have to have 4 sides the same if it's a box. Like, I gotta cut it. It's that difficult, dude. And it's not knocking those guys, because some of the stuff that they make is great. It looks really good. And believe me, I appreciate the skill that goes involved in making a square or a rectangle. But don't act like it's the hardest thing on earth.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, some of the hardest stuff right now is just keeping people motivated.
Yeah.
The moral integrity is lacking as well lately.
It's true.
That's one of the biggest things, and not like stealing or lying, just doing the right thing when no one's watching is part of it, but more staying busy when no one's watching, which is part of doing the right thing. But
yeah. Well, I mean, to your point, there is something to be said about that. We have an entire society, and I think we talked about this before. Previous generations, when they got to be a certain age, typically it's around 30. It stopped becoming about them, and it started becoming about others, their family typically. Especially when you have children, you put them first. You want to make sure that they're provided for, that they're protected. As men, that is our jobs. We protect and we build. Right. So when you got to a certain age, a certain maturity level, right, you stop thinking about you. You started thinking about others. And as you got older, the others grew. It wasn't just your family. It was your neighbor. It was the dude down the street. It was your community, right? Yeah. A lot of that is no longer there. The more and more people are just, it's me. What do I want? What can I get? What's in it for me? And if that's your approach, you're going to have a really, really rough time in life.
Well, you can see it trickling through society, given everyone's having a rough time in life right now.
Yeah. That's the thing. And to this point, to what BW, and I'm going to read it. I was a printer in my dad's small shop, and like a farmer, you had to learn how to do other things because you couldn't afford other people doing the work. That's the thing. We have the good fortune of living in a time where there is abundance. We have additional money. Whether that continues or not, it's not a political debate. We don't want to get into it. But for right now, we can talk about it. We live in that time of abundance where the new things that you buy are typically disposable because there's something new coming out every year, every 2 years, or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not that attachment to it. There are no family heirlooms being built today.
Right.
That's commonly available. You have you had China.
I have China. I was able to bleach it, but
Good. Back in the day, China was a family heirloom.
Mm-hmm.
Good dishes, what have you. How do I get brands to send me tools? You don't. I don't get them to send me tools. That's just the truth of it. Anyway, but the thing is, like you don't have those heirlooms anymore. So when you are faced with fix or repair or replace, most folks are choosing replace now. There's no skill involved. And unfortunately, the builders see this. Most of the contractors that you see, 5 years. Within 5 years, they won't be contracting anymore.
Right.
You know, that's not saying the big guys won't be there. The big guys are stable because they're always hiring. They're always bringing in more folks. But most of the builders that are out there, most of the dudes that are building, they're getting that contract. They're doing their job. They're trying to get as much money as they can right away so that they can get up. And they know that if it comes to repair, they don't have to be there. So
right.
LFL, I am not, or actually I'm always buying. So probably buy some new rigid stuff this year. I have all of this stuff that Rigid has right now. So it's a little more difficult for me to get excited about some of that. Maybe if they came out with a tower light, I would pick that right up. That's about it. And the CNF, I see you. How you doing? Man's most important ability is to procreate, drink beer at the same time. If you're concentrating on the beer, you're not very good at the procreate. Just throwing that out there. I want a rigid drill, he says. Well,
rigid. I don't have any rigid.
That sucks for you.
It does suck. Actually, Rigid's the only brand. You know what I bought a Rigid that was kind of fun was that impact driver that you push.
Mm-hmm.
It actuates to 12 volt.
Yeah.
You know why I bought it?
Why?
Because whenever before the day of the impact driver, you had to learn on how to put force behind your tool while you were driving. And you had to put it on the motor and you had to push and maintain contact and all that. And that drill or impact, whatever you want to call it, is barely an impact. Would teach you to give the right amount of force needed to drive a screw, and it only actuated if you pushed. There was no trigger. So it's perfect for a child to learn how to drive a screw.
What's up, Michael?
That's why I bought it. But that being said, it is an absolute piece of garbage.
Man, I'll be honest with you. Like, I get that comment all day, every day. You're pushing down on the drill harder. Not really.
Yeah.
I'm making sure that the motor, like everything is in line so I can get the most efficiency out of the tool. Once the screw or the leg or whatever starts, there is absolutely nothing I can do.
Howie Z, my grandfather, I'd still hear the stories from my grandparents about bending the nails back straight. And you did that too?
I still do.
Oh, yeah.
We remodeled the house, and I ain't hurting. But we remodeled the house, and like when I took out the door, when I took out the wall and I replaced the wall or whatever, I did it old school, like truly old school. because I didn't want the end of the nail to be hurt. So I burned them out. And then I go in, like, not high temperature burn. Don't get me wrong. Don't think I'm a weirdo. But I would heat up the wood to make it expand so that I could just pull them out without damaging because I didn't want to hammer the end. So that's how. I'm not saying I'm cheap, but I'm pretty cheap.
Yeah. Well, that was like one of the chores, right? The boys trim the yard or,
Wow.
worked on around the house or something. And my grandma's job was to bend the nails back straight.
Sorry, CNF.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, man. That's pretty rough.
Crack walnuts and straighten out the nails. Been there. I also go, yeah, we all are sorry for your loss, CNF. I would also, like, every estate sale that I go to or that I see, I make a point of going to, and you can walk into the house, you'll immediately know if it was a guy or a girl that passed away. Because if it's a guy, it's the stuff like the older people, they just like me, they keep all the men's stuff out in the garage. So I would go, that's my first stop. I don't look through the rest of the house, nothing. I go right to the garage and I want to see. And any of the old nuts, bolts, whatever, nails, I still buy them.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how nice the old square nails are?
Yes. I still run into those every once in a while.
They're awesome.
I save them.
And what I like to tell about somebody is like, because like the deck builders, the guys that build decks, and they comment on my videos, they're like,
I can run an impact all day.
Ray, you're doing a 3-inch screw. Shit. That's what it's for. It's a 3-inch screw. Take it easy, big guy. You're not really working hard. But those old square nails, like, that's what they used to use for all that stuff, because it would not allow the wood to
move or sink or anything. Yeah, it was a wedge.
It was perfect.
Yeah, they're wedges.
Why we got away from using that stuff was because we thought something else was easier. It doesn't make it right that it's easier.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
C19 business. The company had electric contract for a major hospital. Well, good deal for you, George.
Nice.
Estate sales are really good. If an old guy passed, I bet they are. I live in Missouri, and they're pretty good here. Tornado soul. Yeah, well, you could probably do those square nails could probably go through a tornado.
Oh, dude, your estate sale will be lit, dude.
How do we know if it's a nail or a hammer without asking the tool? What's that?
If we kicked it right now, our wives would be getting blown up by our Gmail accounts with questions. When is the estate sale?
Oh, I've already prepared my wife. I have, because I have Alzheimer's, and I have other health issues where I know the clock is definitely ticking. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that I'm not going to live to be an old man.
Oh, I thought I almost beat you the other day, but I'm still here.
It was just your meat. Anyway, just saying. Anyway, I've let, when I buy these tools or whatever, I let my wife see the receipt. I don't try to hide anything from her. I give her all the logins to my Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, Ace Hardware accounts, because I have accounts with all of them. I have cards with all of them, even though I don't use them. I have cards with all of them, and I let her know. I'm like, here, when I go, because there's probably, just in my garage alone, just in power tools, maybe 20, 30 grand just in power tools sitting here.
I believe it.
That's not counting my storage building. I just put in put together a new canvas garage, which, by the way, $300 is ridiculous.
That is a good price.
I just put one of those together and I'm going to fill it. I have 2 storage buildings on my property that are full, and my other house has tools in it. Like when I pass away, you all better have the yard sale of a freaking lifetime. Because that's how she's going to pay for me to go in the ground. Never seen what in your life? You shout me out on YouTube? What?
Yeah, give him a shout out at some point.
Hi, Jamil Ahmed.
No, he wants you to do it on another video. I took a picture of it. That way I can remind you. Got his name here. See?
Okay, cool.
We'll try
And
to remember.
I'll wait on Soul's house outside waiting for the garbage. But you're just going to get Makita and Ryobi in the garbage, buddy. What's up, John? 30K in the garage. Well, what was the address again? And times the house likely empty. I'm retired. The house is never empty. Although my son did show up today while we were out getting groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to. This is bad.
That is bad.
I have to buy a security system, like cameras and all that garbage for my house.
You should get Vivint.
What's that?
Vivint.
Vivint?
Yeah. What's good about Vivint, right? So two things going to happen, okay? You're going to spend $2,500 on equipment, and your monitoring rate is going to be like 30 or 40 bucks. Or you're going to get the stuff for free, and your monitor rate's going to be 80 bucks. I like to keep all my bills as low as possible for as long as I can. So if you lock into a rate where they're only at 35, 40 bucks for monitoring, 25, whatever it is, and you can eventually not have to worry about that equipment, that's the way to go. Because as time goes on, they only raise the prices. So ADT used to be like 50 bucks, and it would come with all the security stuff. And now everyone's like almost $100. So it just depends what you want to do. But the Vivint stuff works really well.
Well, I don't need like an alarm because I live outside of the city far enough that it's the sheriff that would respond to the call, not the local cop.
Mm-hmm.
I know this, the response time for the sheriff where I live, even though I'm 3 miles outside of town, is over 30 minutes on a 911 call.
See, that's... Sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's all right. I drove from Kansas City, Missouri to where I live, which is 70 miles, and got to my house after my wife had, she called me after she called 911. I got there 2 minutes after they did.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the dudes were still getting out of the car when I pulled in. They didn't know who I was from Adam. But here, I walked right in the house through 3 of them. And I walked into the house like, if there's somebody here, let's go.
Dang. Check this out. These are the Vivint cameras, right? And they play a deter tone. So if you stand in their area for long enough, the light will start strobing at you, and then it will follow you around like a spotlight wherever you're walking. It's pretty cool. It's a good deterrent. But so this is how sensitive the microphones are, right? There's a car driving by real time right now. Okay. I can probably yell here inside the house, and you'll hear it on this microphone. Watch this. I'm going to turn my volume down, though. It didn't pick up on it.
Oh, okay.
You can hear conversations across the street. You can hear conversations inside of cars. If a car's parked like right here, you can hear the
Yeah.
conversations inside the car. I can be talking to my neighbor across the street, and I was showing in the video. And
Yeah.
I can hear our conversation in the phone at his front door.
That's something. These guys are gripping. So Rodney asked if my son knows how many guns I own. Yeah, he does. He was there with me for majority of the purchases. So I think I'm at 38 guns right now. So it's just a small one. Just a small collection. So he does know that. What I was thinking is like getting a little home camera that did cloud recording. Because look, I don't want, if it's my son, I don't want him to get hurt. Like coming in and stealing. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't really want to hurt anybody, but especially my son.
Yeah.
So if he's here stealing, right, I want it to be recorded so that I can obviously turn it into the police and have him prosecuted. And anybody that doesn't think I will have my son prosecuted is sorely mistaken, since I am currently going through prosecution of my son. Just so we're clear. But I want, if he's going to steal stuff, he's going to steal it. I want the evidence so that he can be taken into custody and corrected in as gentle, I'll say it that way, or as less harmful a way as possible. I'd rather the police do it.
Does Bubba widening an orifice count as gentle?
I mean, I don't think the police have a dude named Bubba. Now, what goes on in jail is just like Vegas. What happens in your butthole in jail stays in your butthole in jail. I ain't going to ask any questions. I don't want to know.
What if you come out just buying all the Makita?
I'd be like,
just run to Home Depot and be like, oh, this is like, fantastic.
You got to learn how to knuckle up, boy.
Yeah.
Go nose to nose and toes to toes. You don't want to buy a Makita.
Yeah.
30 minutes is crazy for a 5.1 mile response to the police department. Yeah, it is kind of true. Here's the other one. I called 911. I was doing a live stream, and my wife alerted me that my brother was upstairs having a heart attack. We didn't know it was a heart attack. He just said he fell down. He's having a hard time breathing and whatnot. So ended the live stream as quickly as I could, went upstairs. It was like a minute. I was just like, yeah, gotta go. Ended it. Went upstairs. He's laying on the floor. I'm talking to him. He's not really coherent.
Right.
But he's breathing and he's at least murmuring. So I go outside. I call 911. I am on the phone with them for almost 5 minutes. I come back in. At this point, he is not breathing. So I immediately start CPR. Right. I'm a big man. He was a very little man. He's 150 pounds, maybe 140 pounds. I'm almost 280. So me doing chest compressions on you, you're going to feel it.
Right.
He's not doing anything. I call 911 while I'm doing this. Like, I tell my phone to call, and it calls. Takes them another 3 minutes to answer.
Wow.
17 minutes before the first EMT arrives. And for those 17 minutes, the only instruction I have gotten on the phone was from the 911 operator that said do 100 compressions per minute.
Oh, yeah.
So I am doing this. I can hear his ribs breaking.
Right.
Because you've got to go hard. Like, you don't want to, but I can hear his ribs breaking. And I knew it wasn't good. Like, you always hope for the best in that situation. You know, it's not good. The person on the phone could hear me doing these compressions. They could like literally hear me doing these compressions, and they're like, anybody else there that can help you? I'm like, nope. My wife keeping my mother occupied because we didn't tell my mom what was going down at the time. Because my mom was 88 years old. She had dementia, Alzheimer's, and we didn't want to rile her up because it's a very bad day. By the time they arrived, I could touch his eyeball with my finger and nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So at that point, I knew he was dead. But it took them total time over 25 minutes from the first phone call to the time they showed up. And at that point, you know it's gone. He's done.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, man. To change the subject, make it lighter. That is why your fire safe ratings, when you buy a fire safe and it says 15 minutes, 25 minutes, 45 minutes, that's because if you live in the country, you're going to need more minutes. No safe is actually fire rated. So the whole point in the fire ration is until the fire company can get there, fire department can get there and like start, changing the temperature, pouring water on it. That's what you're looking for when you look at a fire rated safe. Is how long does it take for the police, whoever, to get to your house before they can change the temperature inside the house?
Yeah. Oh, it is. And again, I am not like, it doesn't take me 30 minutes to get to town. It takes me 5, right? From my house to town takes me 5 minutes. One of the things that I had to do when I got insurance on this house, because a lot of people don't know this, each home has a category, and it's based on distance from fire hydrant or fire station, right? Mm-hmm. Well, obviously where I live, we don't have a fire hydrant. I mean, we don't live in town, so there's no fire hydrant. So we were in the worst possible category, a category 5. That's the worst one that you can get. And they said that we did not live, because then it goes by mileage away. And they said that the nearest fire department from me was over 10 miles. And I'm like, well, that's not true. So I had to record my drive from my house to the fire station. It's 5 miles.
Oh, they had to watch it.
Yeah. Like I had to submit that to get my fire rating down. So I went from a 5, and in real dollar terms, I went from I would have been paying almost $3,000 every 6 months to $1,600 every 6 months.
Well, it'd be a total loss at that point. So I guess so.
Yeah. My local volunteer fire department has never lost a basement. Slow response to the drop. What they're doing, the station, is to get crew and respond. All that takes is time. An emergency feels like an eternity. Here's the kicker. The story I was telling you about my brother and doing the chest compressions and all that. Do you know how far away the chief of our EMT response team is?
Is he like next door to you?
He lives on the next road. Yeah. He's 1.5 miles away. He was the first person to get here.
It was like that Jimmy John's commercial.
Yeah.
Grab a bucket. Grab a bucket. Didn't you watch that? Call the fire department?
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Call the fire department, and then he calls Jimmy John's.
Something.
They get all the fire out. There's like 100 of them. And he's like, why didn't you call the fire department? He's like, I did.
Those are my nipples on fire. And I've got just a big skull on my chest.
Nice.
It's actually a really cool shirt I would show you, but I'm fat. this so far. No, it's amazing. And the worst part is the dude knows me, knows who I am, knows who my brother was, knows the whole family. Had to drive into town before he could come here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the worst part is the police showed up before the EMT.
Yeah.
And I just looked at the cop. I'm like, my shoulder's hurting. Can you take over? And he's like, nope.
Oh.
So
That's
I had
nice.
to keep going until an EMT. He's like, we got to wait for the EMTs, which I mean, if that's the rule, that's the rule. I'm not going to begrudge you a damn thing. But that's been my experience. I don't know why not. They didn't explain it other than they had to wait for the EMTs. And then while we were outside, like once the EMT got there and they were gonna use the paddles on him or whatever, I went outside because I knew it was over. And I started calling family just to tell them, hey, what's up? Warren passed away.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even say they're in there working on him. I'm just like, he's gone. He's passed away.
How many people are watching? And it feels like you might be making this depressing. We don't like to depress.
Oh, it's 35.
Well, I'll add this as a life
Hey,
advice.
if your face is on the screen and they're not depressed already, there's something wrong. All right, just looking at you,
this, right? Because so I've lost both of my parents. My mom had lung cancer, and we did the hospice thing, and it wasn't going good. Whatever happened, and my dad was taking it really, really hard, as he should. And I said, "Why aren't you in there?" And he said, "Well, this was after I'd walked out after they had taken her." I said, you missed it, whatever. And he said, I'm not going to watch him put a sheet over your mother's head.
Yeah.
And that is life advice. Do not watch anybody put a sheet over your loved one's head.
It's true.
That's all I can tell you. You don't need to see it.
It's true. I'm just going to say this to all you folks out there that are wondering. Next week, my Christmas decorations are officially going up. I managed to do it every year right before Halloween because there's nothing like telling any prospective child that might come to my house, we're not interested, and to scare the bejesus out of any parent that's going by who is just realizing, oh shit, it's Christmas time. So, what's up, South Florida Tools?
What's up?
Your dad died at 44. That's young. My dad was the oldest male member of my family ever. He died at 65. Next week, carve pumpkins with power tools. I do have a new drill attachment that is for pumpkin that I have wanted to try out. So I'm kind of, if I can convince my wife to go to a pumpkin patch, maybe we'll try it. I've actually been planning on, I don't know if I'll do it live. Cool. Oscillating tool.
I've never owned this one.
The new M12?
It is an M12 fuel brushless driver. I don't know if they have a new one out, but this is the latest one, I think. I've never owned it, so
I don't know why.
We got some sanding discs and the adapter.
Yeah.
We got a blade, and it's not a Starlock blade, which means we're not stuck with Starlock.
Huh.
Here's a win. Here's a bonus. If you need more information,
yeah,
email me.
The Conductive Wood cut-up tool is amazing.
ConductiveWood@gmail.com. This is a DF68W1.
Nice.
There you go. Go win.
Enter to win.
Enter to win. DF68W1.
Kansas is saying don't sand with it.
Don't sand with it. I also got another one that I can share. Another code. Let's see. How does it work?
Just like that's gonna be stiff the first time, dude.
Okay. So
Oh, I don't like that. Take it back. It's trash.
It's not like DeWalt, man.
Take it back. It's trash.
Let's see. Hang on. At least it didn't need an Allen wrench. Let's see.
Oh,
there's
dude, I didn't
nothing
know
fast
that.
about that.
Is the blade multi-purpose or just wood?
The blade is wood.
Your boy has a question.
What's up?
I already answered him, Juan. I told him that the Walt cutoff tool is good. It's not as powerful as the rigid, but hey, not everybody can get the rigid. So I understand. But
What's
the
up,
cutoff tool from the Walt is very good. Yo, fuck face!
Hey, do these actually work?
I've never tried it.
I've never tried either. I got another one though I can share. Hang on. Someone wants to try it.
Never tried it. All that stuff goes in the trash.
Yeah, me
It would
too.
be
I kept
the
this one,
instruction manual trash.
I'm gonna wait for your boy's question.
He asked about the DeWalt 20-volt cutoff tool. You fuck. Jesus Christ. That's why you don't eat paint chips when you're a kid, gentlemen. Never do that. You'll end up being just like Tactics over there. Thanks for the shout out. No, it's our pleasure, fuckface. We appreciate you, bud. All for Team Orange and Royal Blue, Rigid and Cobalt. I love it. I am the biggest Rigid fan. And I'm not a fanboy because win or lose, it doesn't matter to me. They represent a great value. That's why I like them. The only thing I got was a 1 3/16 socket.
I can't find it.
What, the cutoff tool or the other little?
No, I was looking for the other little code.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any.
Is that another one?
You think the shirt would fit? I'll tell you what, Rod. Next time I come down to Branson, this will be yours. I gotta get another one anyway. I bought this off of Temu, by the way, for like $3. It's
Did you really?
yeah, it's not bad. I've been buying a lot of shirts off of Temu. I think I got like 5 of them because I can't find like this style anywhere. And since I'm old and I don't really care to impress anybody with the way I look. I just kind of buy things that I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Tactics, your boy has a question for you. And then I don't see
it was about the drywall or about the DeWalt cutoff tool or yeah.
Oscillator.
Yeah.
What about it?
The little cutoff. I think it was the little circ saw. The little cutout one. Like M12 has one. Rigid has a good one.
Oh, the multi-material cutting wheel thing. I don't have it. At a real job site, you can't create sparks without a hot work permit. So while those tools look really cool for cutting all kinds of stuff, your actual tradesmen that are at big time job sites, you can't have stuff like that.
Nope.
It's a liability.
Yeah. I can tell you around the house, I used it for plexi. I had to replace all the glass in my one door.
Nice.
Because somebody like ripped a screen door off and then broke out a window. I don't know who would do that. I believe he's related to me, and his name is the same as the capital of Texas. Anyway, and any of you think that my son's name is Dallas, that tells me you don't know much about Texas. Anyway, I used it to cut the plexi. I got like a whole sheet of plexi and I used it to cut the plexi, and the sucker worked great.
Rodney's a funny guy. That's great.
Better than your Fetterman Company host?
Co-host. I wouldn't have read it out loud either. That's funny.
I mean, damn. You named your son El Paso.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's from Wichita, Kansas.
But
I was typing the Dallas joke. I beat you guys to it. What's it like to come to a place where you guys lose the battle of wits to a band with Alzheimer's?
Oh man, every day I talk to you, I'm reminded.
The only Dallas I like is Dixon Dallas. You like your Dixon Dallas? That's kind of weird. Fantastic artist and lyrical genius. I've never heard of it. I've never heard
Yeah, we played it on the channel, so want me to bring it up. Remember?
I just heard him say that he likes his Dixon Dallas. That's
Oh, I can't even remember what the lyrics were, but it was.
Makita. Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
pretty interesting. Yeah, it was definitely all about Makita. Inspired by Makita.
Stay away from birthday candles until you do a video on how flammable they are. Dude, you know what? People got mad at me for being like, yeah, we're hearing protection. Like, why would you get upset over that? It's because I held a Milwaukee in my hand, and they all take it as a front to Milwaukee because they don't have the intellect to understand what I was saying.
That checks out.
Oh, for this. This is 100% cotton. This is actually really thick.
Really?
Kind of surprising. Yeah.
Nice.
It's surprising. Like, it's really warm.
Hmm.
I dig it. Not all of this stuff was great, but when you're only spending $3 for a shirt, like, I could resell those at fucking Walmart and make money.
Yeah.
Right? Battle of wits with tactics. Rodney Widger. I'm going to just put it up here. I'd like to have a battle of wits with tactics, but then I don't like to fight unarmed guys.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, the man's been too busy to even call me the last couple of days because he's like, he hit the big time. And he's like,
I
fuck
hit the big
souls,
time.
dude. It's like, fuck souls. I ain't got to worry about that asshole anymore. Piece of
Hit the
shit.
big time. The big time is 20,000 views. Actually, I don't even know what I haven't looked at my views since the last time I told you I hadn't looked at my views.
All right, look. You guys ever wonder how much you get paid for having almost 5 million views on a video or 6 million views on a video? I'll do this right now.
Nice.
Let me go into
I'm
it.
going to say you got $173.44.
No,
More?
a lot.
Oh, nice. Good job.
But all right,
Oh, hey, we got 30,000.
watch this. You guys ready? Do you guys want to see this at all? Are you interested on how much you get paid for 5.9 million views on YouTube?
Do it.
All right. Share screen. I don't have to worry about sharing screen with sound. Boom. You're seeing that, right, folks? 5.9 million views. Here, maybe if I...
Is that 6?
5.9 million views.
Yeah.
9.9 thousand, almost 10,000 subscribers.
Oh, that's crazy, dude.
$685.
Jeez, man.
That's it, buddies. If
What's
you guys
your
think we're
retention
out
on that's
here-
got to be high.
What's that?
Your retention. And go to the engagement.
Why? Look, average percentage viewed 95.3.
Man, that's great.
What's the math per video? It's 13 cents per thousand.
You're making me wonder what mine is now.
That is what YouTube pays me per 1,000 views on a short video is 13 cents per thousand.
Let me see here.
So, and this has been out for
A month.
4
Two.
months. June the 26th. So almost exactly 4 months it has been out. And that is the entirety of what I have been paid on this video. $683, $685.23 since it came out.
Nice.
And my best month. So last year they changed the way that they paid us on videos. I went from making about $1,400 to $1,800 a month doing my long format videos. So if you guys are wondering why, well, first, my health has prevented me from making a ton of long format videos, but I've also not been doing it very often because I went from making $1,400 to $1,800 a month to about $140, maybe $400. My best month ever that I've had since they changed it was $883. Well, thank you, Fuckface. I appreciate that.
I missed that because I'm scrolling through. You made less or more?
I've made less since they changed it and told us that we were going to make more. I've made about a third.
Less.
Belky shirts. Yeah, I've made a third of what I used to make.
Wow, man, that's crazy. That's not good.
18K gold. Got it for $20. Tested it. Nice design.
I'm trying to find
gold plated.
my
Good
most
deal.
profitable video. Here's one for $2 million. Okay, so 2 million views gets.
So they started paying for shorts. I was kind of an anomaly because I have always been paid for shorts. Average pay for shorts per 1,000 on YouTube is 3 cents. So I get roughly 4 times more than the average.
Oh, okay. Is that what that is? So this is I got 2,000 subs off of this, 2 million views, 2.2, $180, 51 seconds of view duration. That's all the information on it.
You should just share it, sir, so we can see it.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Do you have other investment souls or I certainly do. I'm okay. We're not hurting yet.
Let's see.
So they started paying everybody for shorts. Well, not everybody, but they started paying for shorts January of this year. I have always been paid for my shorts.
That one.
$174.80. 51 seconds of view duration. Why did you go to content, sir?
Why did I?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to scroll. I don't look at my analytics, man. I've been on cruise control. You know what I realized? I was talking to Angela today. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. I can't keep up with the days. I'm on such autopilot. We have probably spent about $1,500 a week for a year now.
That sounds about right.
That doesn't include bills.
Yeah.
That's just on trying to survive, fighting the mold, paying contractors, buying an HVAC twice, remodeling the whole bedroom, replacing the floor, replacing the everything. Having to buy new cars. I mean, we've spent a really stupid amount of money just trying to be normal. And it's finally all starting to get normal. But we're still far from it. We're getting close, but I've got a chest I guess they're like some kind of memory memorabilia chests that were really popular back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They're like cedar chests, and they're like huge, you know. And it's full of like some of my essays and stuff. You want to hear an essay that I wrote when I was 10? It's pretty good.
I just hope to God you were more coherent at 10.
You guys want to hear it?
Let's go.
Go get it. Sure do. I found it the other day.
Do they have to watch the
And
entire?
anyway, I opened that chest, dude, and
It depends on the ad.
it made me have a nosebleed last night. And I got really, really sick, and my throat still hurts from opening that chest yesterday.
So why would you do it again?
I'm not. The paper was in a bag because my mom, like, she knew that she wasn't going to be in a good way, so she actually put stuff in bags and stuff, and all the photos and everything that like to keep were actually preserved.
Mm-hmm.
So, whoa, sir, hang on.
Look at what you did, Shaka. You got him all hot and bothered. Now he's out there doing his thing. No, I have a goal of being a full-time content creator. I'm going to try to do more long format videos as health permits.
Safe.
You just sniffed that like it was your tampon. Like, what was that? Like, are you making sure that the douche is springtime fresh or something?
Yeah, dude, it will burn my throat. Earlier, my webcam, that's why I'm using my camera on my laptop. I breathed through my webcam, and it burned my whole side of my face, all of my everything, all the way down my throat for the last probably 3 hours. So I threw the webcam away. It's outside. Cool.
This
one's called The Door. Everything. This one's called The Door.
Wait, how many pages is it?
Too long?
1 page?
Pretty much, yeah.
Read the first paragraph. Let's see if we're hooked.
I'll read it fast. I had to write about a door. That's what they said. You have to write about a door. I was like, okay. My door is a hospital door. It reminds me of my Nana. This door could be located anywhere in the hospital. It could be upstairs, downstairs, or around a corner. It might even be just up the elevator a few stories. All the doors in the hospital seem to look alike. The door is about 3 foot taller than I am. It's gridded glass and has a very high doorknob. Anyway, all the doors in the hospital remind me of my Nana because every day we'd go through this door to visit my Nana. My Nana used to go through the door at least twice a day while James and I were at school. At first, I wasn't scared to go through the door. When she first went in, she was talking and walking, and it was pretty good. But then every time I go to see her, she'd be getting worse. Every time I closed the door, I'd feel sorry for her. Then I was afraid to go through the door because I knew of what her condition might be. After I went through the door times, that wasn't so bad, except that she kept getting worse and worse. When I was so afraid, I don't know why, just because she kept getting worse. By the end of the day, when we would go out the door, I wondered if she would live. When we first took her to the hospital, she was looking good, and I expected that she'd be feeling fine in a few days or so. But as soon as I went through that door, she started getting worse and worse. Every day when I would see her, she would be worse than the day before. Now I don't want to go through the door anymore unless one of my family's in the hospital, and then I would want someone to go with me. I hope to never have to go through that door again. Before we took her to the hospital, I had seen that door. It was a special door because of the door standing between me and my Nana. When Nana died behind that door at about 5:30 in the morning, the next time I had to look at that door, I hope I can remember how Nana and I used to play games when I was little. Think about her playing. We called it Mr. Fix-It. I had a little toolbox, and I'd fix her rocking chair, and I'd tell her to pop the hood, and I get underneath there with tools, and we'd work on it and stuff. I still think about it. That door will always remind me of my Nana. Wrote that when I was 10.
And then you got dumber. You couldn't write that now.
I couldn't write that now, maybe. I don't know.
I doubt it. I doubt you could barely write your name most days. So
yeah.
So there was a question that Michael Della Bella, a great name. So if YouTube pays not as much as you'd expect, can you get sponsors like a pro athlete would do? Yeah,
I actually can't breathe with this in here. There is something on this. Hang on. I got to get out of here.
All right. Yes, you can get sponsors for that. However, my personality is not really geared toward a lot of sponsors. I'm more of the FU guy on YouTube than the how you doing, let me kiss your butt for money kind of guy. I'll give you a for instance. I'm not going to say who it is. I won't give away the channel, or I won't say who the channel is, but it's fairly obvious. This guy's like, I'll never bring Flex onto my channel. It's not worth it. I don't like their marketing tactics. And maybe one of his buddies started getting paid by Flex, and Flex was throwing around a little dough. Just to be honest, they were throwing around a little dough. And maybe this dude started getting paid by Flex, and then he was like, oh, I'm going to bring Flex to the channel because you guys asked me to. So now I love Flex. That dude's a little dishonest, and it's all because they paid him. So his opinion on tools, I think, is suspect. I wouldn't trust the dude that's getting paid from anyone to give an opinion on that, because at that point you become an employee of that organization. Whether you work for yourself or not, you're a paid spokesman. I happen to be a prick. So anybody that's watching me and they're like, oh, he's going to be kind and he's going to say nice things about a brand, I point them to videos where I'm like, yeah, I cut that I cut that drill in half because I thought it was a piece of shit.
Yeah, they sent me this and savage.
Like I send that, I'm like, you sure? You know who I am? Like, and when companies reach out to me and they're like, oh, well, we thought we came across your channel and we thought you'd be a great fit for our brand. I always go, what made you think that? Like, you really paying attention here?
Yeah.
George, if it smells like cologne, leave it at home. If it smells like fish, have a dish. Cooch goes the other way. Oh, your boy Ram with a great point here. There's another not paid spokesman for a company who did this. Well, if brush drills are not that good, there are benefits, or the brushless drills are not that good, there are benefits in brush drills. And the gentleman went on to talk about how he's having an epileptic seizure over there. He went on to talk about how much easier it is to maintain a brush tool because you can take it apart, replace the brushes and all that. And then said you don't get any power or any speed from the brushless models. Mainly because the company that he was representing at the time, I'm not saying who it was, but the company that he was representing at the time didn't have any brushless tools.
Interesting.
And when they started making brushless tools, oh, they're the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder if that company rhymes with
Barber Nate.
Barber Spate.
Barber Nate. It rhymed with Barber Nate.
Yeah, Harbor Nate.
The only way I would do sponsor video is if I was in control and could give an honest opinion. When I do take in tools, that is the one thing that I say. I'm going to give you an honest opinion, good or bad. It's going to be honest.
I'm going to push you to the
deal with it. You have to deal with it because if I don't like it, you're going to know.
Yeah, that heated jacket, they were like, when are you going to give us a video about it, And it's like, I only just got it. Like, I got to wear it for at least a month before I make a video on it.
Yeah. I got, and that is the one thing. I had an American company reach out to me with boots. They wanted me to promote boots or whatever. They sent me the boots 2 months ago. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing the video until I'm sure. Like, I don't want to give like a bad or good. I want to give honest. So I've been wearing them like whenever I do work around the house or whatever. or whenever I go out and about, do my normal thing, I've been wearing them.
Can you wash
Just
the
to
blood
make
out of them
sure.
pretty good?
What's that?
The blood wash right off?
I haven't tried. Still on there. I got it on both of them.
Dang.
But no, and when I do that video, whatever I say about them is going to be true. Like there's some things I like, some things that I don't like.
Yeah.
And however they feel about it, I could give a rat's ass. They're not paying me. I didn't take a dime.
I actually don't even like go after the commissions. They're like, hey, can you do this link? And it's like, that's just so they can track your own product. I don't even like Kyle Eats. I still need to give them my PayPal. They keep emailing me like, hey, send your PayPal so we can pay you. It's like, I wasn't doing it for the money. I was doing it because I like the product and I wanted to spread awareness about it.
The DeWalt compact circ saw or recip saw. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure, or maybe not. I think there are other brands out there that are better.
The DCS 369. What is that? Is that the one hand?
That's the one hand.
Or is it the one that I've got?
I think it's. I don't know that it's the one you got. I think it's the little one hand saber saw, the atomic.
What I can tell you, and I just gave it away, but hang on. It is
Kucharific.
Home Depot. Show me the freaking numbers.
18-volt one hand recip saw. Called it. It's good. There, brother. That's how. I don't even like. I don't think the Milwaukee hacksaw is better. So don't think I'm trying to say that. But there are probably 2 or 3 better brands out there that might have one that is a little bit better.
So what I can tell you is, really, really sensitive to any type of mold, right? And I had my ductwork recently done. I also sucked all the insulation out of the house. And there's still none up there right now. But we replaced a whole bunch of boots. And the boots were from the 70s. They weren't insulated. And they condensate because cold and, you pull the insulation out of the house and you're going to get condensation. So I missed that. Argon the gloves. Okay. So anyway, I was cutting out little sections of stud in between the rafters. And I used a metal cutting blade. And the 12-volt saw that looks like that is very capable. And it's just 12 volts. And it doesn't bog down. It does everything you need it to do. Not the fastest, but it's a one-handed recip. So you're already making sacrifices. That saw is probably going to do just fine. But what I can tell you is that the flex, for not that much bigger of a tool, is an absolute beast. And if you watch one of the videos, I did a short on it, and I took a Diablo, and it's got the quick release, quick insert ready to pop in whenever you want, kind of call it on it. And I took that sucker, and I put it in between a piece of wood, and like I told you, everything becomes a pry bar or a hammer. And I started twisting on this thing, and I turned it into a corkscrew. And I was still able to pop that thing out and put it back in if I wanted to. And it didn't come loose.
Yeah. Kansas, who are you talking to? I know you did not ask me that question, sir.
The random orbit.
The worst part is I've actually used it on camera.
So this guy with the gloves. Let me see here.
Has anyone tried the Flex one-hand recip? Cooch has.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's better than the Milwaukee because of the quick insert. I don't know if it's as fast. They're both very, very close. And for Milwaukee to do what they did with maintaining the same voltage for years and the same battery and the same footprint, and Milwaukee did a really good job. But the Flex edges it out on a lot of the features, and the batteries are better.
I would agree. He's in Greece, though. Cameraman too, since you're in Greece, don't buy the Makita. That's my that's my word of wisdom for you. If it says Makita, it's trash. We just lost the one guy that didn't know I don't like Makita. You're like, fuck that guy. He says I'm American. Well, I don't care. All right, guys. We are at that time. It's been an hour 35 minutes, and we enjoyed you. Look at this. You guys are about to get an ad. I'm going to stick around for a minute, a little longer, because some of you and I want to know who gets it, because literally YouTube is telling me they're going to send you guys an ad right now in about 36 seconds, 30 seconds, somewhere in that neighborhood.
How do you know that? Does that pop up in StreamYard as well?
It does. No. So I have StreamYard on one side, and I have YouTube Studio on the other. And
YouTube Studio will let you know.
Yes.
Interesting.
So I always have the two screens going on, and like I can pull up other things. Belky, and remember, go sit on a gnome. We're not done yet, guys. I'm waiting. Just carry Astroglide, George, whatever you're into. I'm not here. But enjoy your ad. It's starting right now. I just, this is so funny to me because this has happened. This is the first time I've ever seen it, like where I was paying attention to it. And
BW's already had 2 or 3. They've been hitting BWs.
It's just funny to me that they're running an ad during a live stream. Like, this ain't fucking NBC. So what are you guys talking about? Shit. Makita sent you free tools. What would you do with them? I would find some poor, destitute, homeless, homosexual and give them to him. Be like, hey, just when you want to tell your dad that you are a certain way, just show him these. He'll get the message. You don't even have to use them. Just be like, here, Dad, look at what I
Google Fi ad.
I never get ads. Oh, good. B-Dub got another one. I like it. Dang. So apparently it's only targeting some of you guys. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they can't put it on everybody. They just
it's the ad is featuring tactics. It's for ED meds. Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of issues over there. Anyway, guys, we're about to get out of here. We appreciate you being here as always. And again, I'm trying to get some merch together for y'all. I definitely want to get some Belky hats and shirts. Thinking about doing a couple of others, and we'll see about it. And this Wednesday, we are doing our members only live stream. I know I meant to do it this past Wednesday. I forgot all about it, as I am apt to do. I forget about things. But this Wednesday, we'll be doing our members only video live, where we're going to talk about the channel, the health of the channel. We're going to dive into more of the analytics. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the ideas that I have, including a live. It's either going to be a live stream or it's going to be a long format video where we are going to be testing some tools, but we'll get into that on Wednesday. Because I'm kind of excited about the idea and I wanted to run it by you guys to see how you would feel about it. So we're going to talk about it on Wednesday, and that will be at 7 Central Standard Time on Wednesday.
Nice.
And for all you Makita guys out there, don't forget.
Blow them like you know them.